Hey everybody, welcome back to another Let's Play. It's Zoo Tycooner Steve. Last time I mentioned that I was probably going to follow up with a little sitting area for all of our guests, a place for them to get something to eat, sit down, and so that's what I'm going to be doing today. Let's take a look around here. So unfortunately, no new animals today, but we're going to go ahead and put in that little food court I was talking about. But before I do that, I actually did get a comment or two about the last video that made some good suggestions. So let's hop up here. And what was suggested was, if I can ever pull this up, why is it taking so long? What was suggested was, since we have our viewing areas for our first two exhibits here that are like guessed right up against it, and I didn't use a different kind of fence, like a glass plexiglass thing, to keep them from messing with the animals. We should make our zoo a little more realistic by using these do not tease or do not disturb the animal sign. Put it here in the grass, I guess, which I thought was a really good idea. It does make the zoo look a little more realistic. I guess I'll put it here at the angle in the grass. Cannot block. Okay. Alright, I'll move it an inch. There we go. Alright, so there's one for our peacock side, and we will scoot over here. And whoop, a little too far. And now I can't see it, so let's rotate. And here is one for our turkey side. And what's it getting? Okay, there. Oh, the people are too close. Alright, we'll put it there so it doesn't hit the hitbox on the path and people can still get in and see the turkeys. There we go. So, and another thing that the same commenter mentioned was that I could make my exhibits a little more realistic by changing the ground, which is something that I am remiss on. Like I mentioned last time, I usually don't put down too many plants and kind of leave it sparser so I can see the animals. But one thing you can do to make it a little more realistic is to sort of mess with the ground a little bit here, putting in some hills, just so it's not so single. It looks a little more interesting. It looks like a little more realistic. Like obviously, if you found some eastern wild turkeys on the virgin plains of the Appalachians, it's not going to be a completely flat area. And the same thing is true if you went to India and found some live peafowl. So we're going to go ahead and start by tweaking these exhibits just a tad, just to make them look a little more like, oh, okay, that threw that way over to the side. Let's even that out. Okay, that's better. It looked like I scared it off. And we'll put this one on the hill, yes. Kind of like the fact that those rocks look like they're going into that little hill now, so that's nice. And let's take a peek and see what they look like on the foot level. So, okay. It's looking a little high. I'll probably go back there and smooth them out. But you can tell already it is a little more interesting, just because it's not, oh, well, everything looks exactly the same, it's perfectly flat, and it's clearly an artificial environment. Which is, you're trying to simulate the actual environments that you would find the animals in if you just stumbled upon them, walking around their natural habitat. Yeah, I'm going to have to fix the hill that's on, because it looks like it's one stilt sticking up in the middle of the air. And that might be so high. I want to make sure that they can still get on and use their elevated box there. So let's smooth out, or flatten out, I guess is what I want to really do here. We'll use the flatten tool. And how is that looking now? Yeah, that looks better. Looks better. It might be a little high. I don't know if... I want to make sure that they can still use it is my big concern, because that's like the only enrichment object I put. So let me lower that area in general. And, okay, it's low now, but once again the stilt is up in the air. So let's flatten it. And, okay, it's barely on a hill now, but it's flat, so I'm going to let it go. No reason to fight against the tide. And maybe, since I'm leaving that flatter, let's bring this tree up on a hill a little bit. And smooth out between. And then flatten. And let's take a peek. I'm kind of seeing through the guy's head. There we go. Yeah, that's a little better. It's just a little bit more realistic to the actual animal's exhibits, or the actual animal's habitat. And let's go here and tweak those turkeys a little bit by smoothing. Oh, that's flattening. I wanted smoothing. Smoothing the front hill out I thought was a little high. And let's take a peek at that now. Okay, and clearly they can still use their elevated box, so yeah, that's a little bit better. Yeah, so that's a good idea. I forget the person who left the comment talking about that, but that's a... maybe put another stone in there to make it look right. But yeah, he's right. That's a really good idea. I was kind of remiss by not just going ahead and adding some texture to the landscape by adding a couple hills, or, you know, I didn't put any water in here either just because there were such small exhibits. I didn't think ponds would be necessary. But, okay, other stone. Yeah, it's a little better. Okay, but, yeah, I'm happy with that. That's fine. I might do some more tweaking off camera just to get it to a more perfect level. There's a turkey walking up the hill and now walking down the hill. So yeah, that's good. Okay, I might do some more off camera, but that's all I'm going to do today for here, because I want to put in that food court I was talking about. So let's go ahead and pause it. There we go. Game is paused, and my method with that is I do pause the game while I'm working on it, but then once I'm done working on it, I go ahead and unpause it and let the guests walk through the exhibit just to make sure that everything's working fine. I like to unpause, and that way if there's like a food dish the animals can't reach, I can adjust that. If guests are having trouble seeing the animals for any reason, I can do that. But this is a new area, so let's pause and work on this in peace. And we'll extend it out here. And what I'm going to do here is thinking about the way that you would design a full zoo, at least in terms of the pathways. What you basically want is a large loop that goes around the entire zoo, so that, you know, a person will make like a left-hand turn on the path, and then they'd have to walk all the way around, see all the exhibits, stop at all the gift shops, all the food stands and everything, and they'd have to go through every single exhibit before they get back to the entrance and leave. That's sort of the ideal path. And there are some zoos that are based on it. It's used a lot in theme parks. And so what I'm going to do here is not only put in this area where I'm going to have a good place for them to get some food, and I'll put down some actual hot dog stands and stuff like that. But I'm also going to create basically think of it like the center of a bicycle wheel, and there are 3 or 4 spokes coming out. So that way you could, with the spoke wheel, not only do you have the option to go left or right, but it's also a little more practical. Like if you were in Disney World, there is a spoked wheel in that design. That's probably a good example. Maybe I'll put a Disney World map in here. I probably forget, but if I don't, you can just look it up. You'll see that if you go down, like Main Street USA is the main area, and then you get right up to the castle, and you can go through the castle, which will take you to Liberty Square. You can go right, which will take you into Tomorrowland, or you can go left into Adventureland. And once you go, you know, make your decision to go, like if I go left into Adventureland, then I can just keep walking straight around in a big circle to, you know, Frontierland, and then I think it's Fantasyland, or I guess it's Liberty Square, Fantasyland, Tomorrowland. But anyway, that probably does you no good if you've never been to Disney World. But anyway, the point is, if I initially like make a right-hand turn, or I've gone through the entire circle, I've seen everything in the park once, and now I just want to go back and do the things I really liked, the spoke is very, very convenient, because now I can just go back to the center, and I don't have to walk all the way around again to get from Tomorrowland to Frontierland. I can just use the spoke. So that's probably way more information than anyone was looking for here, but that's the idea. That's why I'm making this. Essentially, it's a cross pathway there with, you know, 4 different directions you can go. Towards the entrance, straight back towards the back of the zoo, or you can make a left, or you can make a right. And I'm going to use this little center area to start putting in stuff for guests to buy. So I'll put in a gift cart, and I'm going to put an ATM. Now we are, of course, like I mentioned, probably way too much last time, in a sandbox mode, so you're not really going to need things for guests to buy, other than it makes the guest happy. Obviously, if we're in challenge mode, we'd be concerned about a budget, and we'd need to make sure that these things are down, but I still tend to think in those terms. I think it's better for your zoo to make it more realistic, like I said, so definitely going to put places where people can eat, where they can buy gifts, and importantly going to put down ATMs so they can get money, because obviously we just want them to say, ooh, that's even more exciting than I thought, I need an extra $500 to donate or whatever. Okay, so I put down that yellow stand. You might not recognize it if you kind of have a vanilla Zoo Tycoon 2. That comes with Snow Leo's Combi Pack, which is the pack that lets you delete your entrance. It also modified the brown and blue roofs. Those aren't just like hot dog stands or soda stands. They're drink stands and food stands. You can go to the brown roof and you can buy a hot dog and a hamburger and a shish kebab. And it's really convenient. You don't have to make these huge food courts with like 20 different food stands because they each sell one item. So it's one thing I really like. Again, I'll just Google Snow Leo Combi Patch and you'll get all of that. And here we are, the seating. I'll just put in the general umbrella table here. And it takes up a lot of space. You know what? I probably don't need multiple recycling bins and trash cans, so I'll just realign these to the center so people can go through. And yeah, that should be fine. I obviously want to leave enough room that people can just walk straight through to the snack stand or the dessert stand if they want to. And so let's just extend these spokes, just maybe you can get a clearer illustration of what I was talking about earlier, but that is very good. And one straight back here. Very cool. Maybe make that a little longer just so it's even with what the other one is. I guess I don't have to, but whatever. And okay, so we put in a snack stand, a drink stand, a dessert stand. We've got seating, we've got an ATM, got a gift cart. What we don't have are restrooms, so. And I'll just use this little area here that doesn't. I was kind of thinking I might use that for like a small exhibit, but I don't think there's enough real room for one. I guess I should have extended that path going to the food stand more. So this is going to be a good area. Is that flat? Because there's... No, well. This is going to be a good area for the bathroom. And I'm going to drop one of these soda machines in too. That's also in the Snow Leo Combi Pack. Interesting that the soda machines are still on the grid. The Combi Pack doesn't fix that. I can't just set it down wherever. But okay. So let's make there's one thing that really annoys me when I watch other like Let's Plays or Zoo Tycoons. A lot of times people will put down bathrooms and they just leave them in the dirt. I've never understood that. That's always... So here, let's put a little path that we can actually put the bathroom on. Because I've never been to an actual zoo where like you have to leave a path and walk in dirt just to use the facility. So, alright, so now you've got a place to sit on the grid. I'll make you match up right there. And we'll go ahead and put in the grass around that. And so let's zoom around here, put in our royal ferns, and again, since this is still the general area, I'm going to use that same kind of botanistic, artistic expression, if I can use some big words, which sounds kind of pompous. I wish I hadn't, but oh well. But basically, I'm going to make it all the entrance area look kind of the same, at least on the sides of the path. Later on, we might put in like a safari area or an Arctic area or something where I'll change it up. But most zoos kind of take a general policy when it comes to putting in just all the shrubs and things along the side of the path. And here's something I didn't do last time, just because the situation didn't warrant it. We were putting it in the middle. But this bamboo here is the one that comes with Zoo Tycoon 2. It's just part of the regular content. But it is almost halfway exactly in height between the Russian thistle and the English oaks that I use here. So I'm going to put those behind everything, and that way, instead of looking through and just seeing kind of this empty space or seeing like the backs of exhibits through it, you're going to see just bamboo. It'll just be leafy green. Let me get these things off the path. You know, you want them close, but you don't want to have guests having to actually push back branches when they're going through and doing things. Here, come on, Keeper Chai. You're going to get locked out when I put the fence in here in a second. In fact, let's just go ahead and do that. And same low wooden bar fence. Just to keep it up. I did not scoot that up enough. So let's scoot that up so I can keep fencing it out, because otherwise the guest AI in this game is not very good. They will just wander off into the middle of nowhere and then get upset at you for not providing them with enough attractions, even though they've gone way, way far away from where they should be. Okay, off the path there. I don't care about that one. That one's back in there. Okay, so there we've got a place for guests to relieve themselves. And so, okay, you probably saw me. I didn't really talk about it, putting down these fences earlier, just to kind of define the borders of our eating area, but now we need to put plants in there, and I think I am going to change up a little bit. I think I'm going to use, yeah, I'll use this, the common heather. Where did I get common heather from? I don't think, it probably came from Roundtree. I have a link for the Roundtree in the description if you need it. But if you just go down there to your downloads pack and go into the plants area, I'm sure common heather's somewhere in the foliage there. Huh, a little skip. I don't know, is it boring just watching me set down the same plant over and over to fill in an area? If it is, just let me know and I'll skip over these areas in the future. But for now, you'll just have to sit and watch, because that's what I've chosen to do. So, here we go. Watch me put down the same plant over and over again. It's exciting. And I'm okay if the heather leaks over onto the path a little bit. It's not very big. But why use the heather here? Well, it's because this is kind of the central area, and I want it to be a little brighter, a little neater than the sort of brown to dark green that I've got going for the other path with the royal ferns, thistle, and English oaks. So I'm going to put in these bright purple heather here, and then I'm going to go ahead and pick a some kind of tree. I don't think it's a cherry tree, but there is some kind of tree I've also got that's it's not purple. Well, it's got one of its skins. It kind of runs like white, red, and purple. So you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. Let me finish off the heather here, and okay, that one's really sticking out. Let me get rid of that. And one more behind the dessert stands. Filling in my plants. It is the best part. That's why everyone tunes in to watch me put down plants. I know. See, I was thinking that because this was a just put in a food court, it was going to be a shorter exhibit, but I forgot I was going to have to put in all these plants, so this will make it just as long as all the other ones. Hooray! Okay, let's go ahead and find that tree I was talking about. I don't even remember what biome it's in. Shoot. Is that it? That's a dogwood. Asian dog? No. Nope. The hallowed trees, I'm not going to use those, but I actually do like those. I've used them before. Magnolia Pacific? No, definitely not. Should have known that when I clicked on it. Nope. I guess it's one of the Japanese cherry. No, it's a little Japanese cherry. I guess that's one of the disadvantages of so many mods. It takes you a while to find anything. There's a white impa tree. No, definitely not. I swear I have it. No. That's the end. Crap. Maybe I don't have it. I've been talking a big game too. Crap. So, no, that's green. Well, I might end up having to delete the heather and just put in something else that matches. Aw, man. That's got to be here. I'm going to find it. It's my mission now. It's not a quiver tree. Nope. It is... No, not an orchid. No, no. Definitely not. It's a magnolia. Nope, nope. Shoot. Come on, come on. X more. No. Is it one of these ones? These ones look pretty. No, that's that dogwood tree I was looking at earlier. Fooled me twice. It's not either one of them. Cypress, definitely not. Coral, no. Not a daisy tree. No, no. That one's bright. Is that... Okay, there. It is the Bloodgood Japanese maple. And I don't know how I missed that, because it is like pink-purple, even in the little icon. But you can see it goes pretty well with the heather. I like it. It does make the place distinct and nicer and more lively. And... Okay, I don't want two that are exactly read together. So that goes there. You can go here. And now just back to the... Okay. Oh, yeah. And that's pretty good, actually. Yeah, I don't want two that are white next to each other. Get rid of... Okay, yeah. This more purpley pink one. I don't know exactly what that color is, but it's very nice. And we'll get rid of that. Okay. Yeah, so, you know, it's a little bit brighter. It draws more attention to itself, so I'm okay with that. And now we're going to fill in this corner. And what we're going to do here is put in an actual gift shop, like a full gift shop. This, again, it's just a holdover from the fact that I mostly play in challenge mode, but I get paranoid if guests can't spend money, like, really easily. So I'm going to put one in here. Plus, like I said before, there's not enough room between that and the turkeys that we did in order to put in another exhibit, so we might as well make use of this area and put a little something in, give guests a reason to walk down that path. Is that right? No, it's not quite right. It needs to be one thicker. So, yeah, right there, I think. Is that good? Yes? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, we'll just fill this in then. And grab myself a gift card, or a gift shop. Gift shop, there we are. I'll just plop it down in here. Let's get it. I want it recessed so it's not right on top of the path, but I also don't want it to block the fence I'm going to put in, so I think that's good. Alright. Fence time! And yeah, I'll start here because that's definitely going to be fenced. And, it is not far enough back. Aw, man. Well, let's finish off what we can here. And we'll go ahead and do a little move. We'll wait a little bit more. Yeah, I guess that's fine because the little white box isn't on the path, so. And straight across. There we go. And put this back as far as I can. There, okay. So I guess that's good. And grab me some more royal ferns to complete the pattern. There, I can see it a little better here. Royal fern this baby up. Do-do-do. Grab me a thistle or two. Don't want to put you on the path. And you notice a thing I would recommend with the thistles is don't put them like an exact straight line. Like every single one is flush with the fence. I try to stagger them so one's a little bit off the fence, one's a little bit in. Just makes it look a little more natural. But we'll put some trees in here. English oaks. Like those ones I'll put directly on the thistles, and I'll put some a little bit further back. Yeah, yeah, well, that's the ticket. Grab some bamboo here so I can go ahead and back it with the bamboo. Yeah, maybe in the future I'll probably delete this. Like won't have to show you every single plant put down. That's a little more repetitive than I would like. But for here, you're going to hear my frustration with it. So that way, in the future, if I change it up, you'll understand why. Or maybe you like the plants. You'll tell me in the comments, please let me see you put down the plants. That's what we'll do. Okay, that area is looking pretty nice. Pretty good. I'm liking it. Let's go ahead and unpause and get down here on walk around mode so we can go through it like a guest. Yeah, that fern's a little off. I'll probably fix that. Yeah, it's a little bit brighter, a little bit distinct. But there, you can kind of see the bamboo in the background there, how it sort of shields out that area that's in between the thistle and the oak trees. And yeah, it's nice and bright here. Okay. And it does look like you can pretty easily walk through this entire area, so I don't think anyone's going to get stuck trying to get to the thing they like. There's the ATM. Yeah, looking good, looking good. So there you go. That's sort of a tutorial for a basic. Let's make sure everything looks fine here. But that's sort of a tutorial for a basic food court area, which gives you a nice little spoke for a wheel, and we'll zoom out here, kind of get an overall view, but so far I'm pretty happy. Okay, and so basically what we're going to do is make a big circle coming off those left and right hand turns that gets intersected. So we'll be zigging zagging. I imagine like both the paths will turn towards the entrance here. Let's look in the math mode. So we'll go ahead and start filling in those areas that we left back. But I hope you liked this anyway. If you did, leave a comment. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm always willing to hear it. And again, if you like any specific animals, let me know. That'll be the next exhibit. All right, have a great day.